Next article, we have NARs Lawrence Yun predicts lower rates and a 15% jump in existing home sales in 2024. Thank God. In addition to a lift in home sales, Chief Economist Lawrence Yun forecasts lower mortgage rates between 6 and 7% by spring of 2024. All right, guys. Uncle Lawrence and his band of brothers and his other housing agency and associations, they wrote a letter to Jerome Powell a couple of weeks ago. And again, we don't know if this matters or it doesn't. Yeah. And after they wrote the letter and it was in the news headlines for about the 48-hour cycle, we didn't really see much of that.
But they got a lawsuit.
But to check out, they got this big ass lawsuit going on. But, I'm really glad that he's at least stepping forward and saying something. We've been talking the last couple of weeks because of the whole lawsuit, like, where are all the voices? Where are all the people, like, standing up against this thing and just trying to advocate for some sort of direction? And to Lawrence's credit, I'm going to say he's actually been going to bat and trying to say, hey, let's get some direction, Jerome. Me and all the Mortgage Bankers Association and National Association of Home Builders, we want to know what's going on. And now he's like, okay, we're getting some information, and I think I have a little bit of direction. And guess what? Now he's stating what it is.
Well, NAR's still there, so they're not extinct yet, right? We still haven't seen what's going to really go down, but I think it is their duty to go out there and present some type of data.
Sure. Yeah.
Not sure that I agree with the 15% jump in existing. I mean, just imagine here in California and San Diego, $900,000 is your medium sales price. Another 15%.
Not price, volume of homes.
Volume of
sales.
Sorry, I got it all wrong.
Bro,
where's my coffee?
Where's the Oh, you know what? The coffee's missing.
Yeah. Jeez.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
No. So, it's not the price. It's going to be the volume.
Got it. Okay, the volume.
That would be welcome because we need more inventory. And I think he's claiming, like, hey, we're going to see this inventory and this buyers and sellers come to meet in the middle somewhere.
And with that said, I do agree with that. With the data that we've been seeing, the trend, I can see that we're going to have more homes available.
For sure.
Especially, believe it or not, they were saying, and I got this from Altos, they were predicting that any time when interest rates are higher, that's when people are selling more homes. There's more homes in the market. And it's different from before, which is pretty crazy. So it's just hard to understand that fact. But based on that, I see that. And we did see an upward trend that more homes are starting to come up on the market.
Yep.
Yeah, and even with the jobless claims coming in, we expect that more of those that's gonna go higher, and I think that's going to prompt more homeowners to put houses on the market, and that's something that we're yet to see into the 2024, which I think is still something that is going to be a huge boost for inventory.
Yeah.
So even at the same time, if Uncle Powell just increases the Fed funds rate once again in December, that could just give us a little good idea that maybe we can predict with more homes being available too. Who knows?
That's actually a really good argument.
And here's the other thing too. Like, let's say he's wrong and it's not 15% and it's only 10. I'm not gonna be mad about that either. No. I mean, that's still gonna be more than 2023. And that will also include that we've have some sort of like found our way out of the affordability crisis, and it's not a crisis anymore. It's more of a problem. So an upgrade on the affordability crisis to a problem, and even if we missed his mark of 15% more existing home sales in 24, fine. If it's 10, great. I'll even take 5 at this point.
Yeah, we take anything. Give us what you can.
But it's still positive. But it's still great. Yes, it's still more. That's why I'm saying, like, I think maybe if we hit this trough of prices and then we hit a peak in rates and we hit a trough of existing home sales being the lowest in decades, I think this is all kind of turning the corner to maybe actually work out. Oh my God, I just said that. I think it's actually going to possibly work. Not for NAR. They got problems still.
Did you just have a magic moment?
The market. I think for the market it might work out. NAR, they got some problems still. But he does cite some worrying concerns, guys. Business spending is down due to soaring borrowing costs. That's connected to the Fed. Labor market cooling down, and then unemployment rate climbing. So there's certainly some things to watch out for.
Unemployment, credit card. I mean, guys, there's a lot going on. So, and this is not just a nationwide crisis. This is a global pandemic. Everybody, and this is where we're having all this feel. So all these things will actually have some type of relation to what's happening here in our market.
Everything's interconnected.
Yeah.
And going back to what you said about rates hitting its peak, you went on to say, I believe we've already reached a peak in terms of interest rate. the question is, when are rates going to come down? And I mean, that's the magic question. But then he follows up and says the 10-year Treasury yield is at 4.4%, which historically means that mortgage rates could be at 6.4%, but they're much higher, which goes back to that 280 basis points that we're off. And then he goes on to say mortgage rates will fall between 6 and 7% by spring of 2024. He also expects more sellers to enter the market as they adapt to prolonged higher rates, which is exactly what we just talked about. That honestly, like, you're either going to have to adapt or you're going to lose out on opportunities that are presented by the market.
Yeah.
So my question for you guys is, do you think this is him forecasting and to the tag? What's the tag?
The tag.
Do you think this is the tail wagging the dog, or do you think he's resting on something else that maybe he's not telling yet?
I really hope he's being very optimistic and knows something that we don't, because it sounds like he's very, very spot on to what's happening, and along with the data that we've been following. So for me, it sounds like he's coming from a place of data and logic rather than, hey, I'm just trying to put something up there to weather the storm and sound like we have positive stuff coming out.
What do you think? Is that the tail wagging the dog?
Yeah, no. I definitely have to agree with some of the things that he actually has to say.
Because you're not wrong.
So one of the things that led me to ask you guys that question today is because he's saying he counts on home builders to ramp up new construction. That's kind of like, hey, wink, wink. Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Well, some of the stuff, like I said, I agree with some of the stuff, but like builders, listen, they have their own mafia going on. You know what I mean?
They do.
They're not going to go build just right away. Like they're going to do themselves a disservice.
Well, so I think that's a very interesting point. So there's like a math. I go to math right away, right? So I think about, the price of labor is really high, price of materials is high. Okay, but if home prices have stabilized and fallen, or not fallen, but like they've hit their localized bottom, then they don't have anywhere else to go up. And if Lawrence is saying at the same time that there's going to be rates kind of softening to that 6 to 7 range, couldn't there be a case for builders to actually build homes again with a higher price, even if as long as they can keep their margin the same?
Yeah.
Even their material cost, labor cost goes down, price goes down. Yeah. Material cost goes up, their price can go up because the market's going to sustain that. There's enough demand. Yeah? No?
No. Of course, most certainly. But again, it just depends where you're at, what area you're in. There's some developers. I'm hearing some other states where they have a lot of brand new homes and they're just sitting. And now they have to really incentivize them on top of incentivizing them.
Oh, wow.
Right? So obviously for us here that we're in San Diego, it makes sense that we have a shortage in homes. And there's just still a demand of properties. Yeah. So we have to I think it's just going to be where you're at. Mm-hmm. Certain things like this is going to be where you're at. Areas matter.
Yeah, no, totally. And I guess I look at that and I kind of I put all the variables on the table and look at all the read the tea leaves, as they say. I'm like, I think he's trying to get them to nudge, like, come on, go build some more homes. So that being said, if you care about new home builds and all that, look for the permit releases that come out every single month and the new home build sale numbers. Those will both give you clues and kind of give you an insight on what's going on. So, Brian, you have final thoughts on this article?
Just in the end, I feel like Yun threw a jab at the lawsuit, not really saying anything about it, but he did say consumers are happy with real estate service. The market fiercely competitive with so many business models amongst which to choose, from do-it-yourself to iBuyers to discount brokerages to full service and rebates. He said, but then he went and said American home buyers have benefited immensely from such wide range choices in real estate services. Moreover, homeowners have accumulated sizable wealth over time, and I mean it's true. For the homeowners that benefit, I bet you there's a lot of homeowners that said selling my house and investing in real estate was the best thing ever. Now I did this. And yeah, of course, there's going to be people that got the short end of the stick or feel like they got a bad deal. But then again, everything was in the paperwork. So you can't really be mad if you sign and agree to something. Read the fine print. It's a double-edged sword.
Wait. It's not a fine print, though.
Oh, it's huge.
It's huge.
Have you seen the RPAs?
Yeah.
It clearly says the percentage.
It's not fine print in this case.
I think, going on to the next article, there's a lot of that will kind of match together, and you're going to see really what people are actually feeling, what they think about, what's happening from the inside.
Yeah. This is NAR doing their job. That's Lawrence going, okay, I got to do a little peddling right now, if you will. I don't know if peddling's the right word. That's the one I thought of, but
that's something out there. That's him doing his job, but let's see how everyone feels about it.